Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's March 22nd, 2019. Hoping you're having a wonderful day, a blessed day. Indeed, a couple things I want to talk about. All right, today in Venezuela, Maduro and his regime, they arrested one of the top aides to Juan Guaido, the interim president, the guy who's currently being supported by the United States and the West. His top aide had been arrested, and the crimes were apparently terrorist activity linked to planned attacks. All right, and I believe that this situation is Maduro trying to see where the U.S. and the West's red line is. All right. Now we talked about what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when Juan Guaido went back to Venezuela. We talked about the opportunity that Maduro had to arrest him, and I said at that point that we didn't know what was going to happen, but if Maduro did arrest him, he'd be playing straight into the West's hands. All right, and that military intervention could happen because of that. All right, he's playing it pretty clean, playing it pretty smart. He knows the drill. And right now, it seems like he is testing the red line of the United States of America. All right. Now, we saw former Ambassador John Bolton and Pompeo come out and basically demand his release immediately. All right. I believe it was Ambassador John Bolton, or former Ambassador John Bolton, who took to Twitter and stated that there are 50,000 Americans in Venezuela and that the U.S. may take action against Venezuela to protect those American citizens within that country. Does that sound familiar to you? Because I feel like that sounds pretty familiar. I feel like that happened. Oh yeah, that happened with Russia and Crimea. All right, which the U.S. stood completely against. All right, because it was a sovereign nation invading another sovereign nation. Right. And so the U.S. was completely against that, but then they're using the same playbook when it comes to Venezuela, or they're threatening to. It seems like, to me, it seems like military intervention is becoming more and more likely as the days go by. I think it's just a fact. We're seeing different military movement. Brazil seems to be on board. Colombia seems to be on board. We've got U.S. officials who are blatantly just coming out and stating that Maduro's regime is coming to an end. It's in its last days. I believe Marco Rubio stated that. And so I believe this is Maduro, his regime, testing the red line of the United States of America. That's something we're going to have to continue to watch. Now we have North Korea. Let's talk about North Korea for a second. All right. Now, this is unconfirmed. Oh, sorry. One point about Venezuela that I forgot to make. There's unconfirmed reports that Russia is making all of its personnel leave Venezuela by later on today, basically. All right, to head to Cuba. Those are unconfirmed reports, just so you know. So take it with a grain of salt. But I wanted to let you guys know about it. All right, on to North Korea. Now let's really talk about North Korea. Okay. One, there's a bunch of rumors going around that apparently North Korea wanted the U.S. to end the Indo-Pacific Alliance, which is a huge joke. I don't know if I believe this, because what would they be smoking to ask that? And also, they wanted military hardware out of Guam and out of Hawaii. Excuse me, why lose my shit over here? What? I mean, if this turns out to be true, they're more insane than I thought they were, And it also came out through North Korean media today that apparently they'd rather starve and freeze to death than give in to gangster-like activity and accusations, and it's the words on the tip of my tongue. Basically, they won't give in to the demands of the United States of America. All right, and they'd rather starve to death and freeze to death than do that. All right, this just adds to the whole notion that negotiations between the United States of America and North Korea are coming to an end. They're coming to an end. And North Korea came out in their state-run media and stated that they want South Korea to do more for inter-Korean relations. Yet, North Korea, for the past 3 weeks, has not picked up the phone to talk to South Korea's military whatsoever. So it seems like we're going back to more of the same. I still think we're going to see some sort of test from North Korea, most likely a satellite launch, which is basically an ICBM launch, in layman's terms. So I still think that's going to occur. Okay, that's a situation we have to continue to watch. And the last thing I want to update everyone on, other than the whole Trump stating that the Golan Heights are Israel's, that we recognize the Golan Heights as sovereign land of Israel, which once again kind of makes you think of Crimea and Russia, where if the U.S. does it, it's fine, but if Russia does it, it's bad, and vice versa. Countries do this shit all the time. The last thing I want to talk about is India and Pakistan, all right, because that situation is not over. Okay, India and Pakistan military still at high alert. Both countries issuing NOTAMs over missile sites. Looks like a lot of brinkmanship. We still have ceasefire violations happening all the damn time. I think in the last 3 days, 3 Indian Army personnel have been killed. Most recently, one was killed by sniper fire across from Pakistan. So that situation is not ending. Honestly, at this point, it's a waiting game. We have, like I've stated before, we have elections in India going on right now, and they don't end until May. So any concrete action by India against Pakistan, I don't think it happens before these elections are over. My biggest fear is miscalculation. Okay, and I see different people, not a lot of people, but I see different people who are on Twitter who comment on different videos, including mine, who say, "Ah, dude, nothing's gonna happen. Dude, nothing's gonna happen." And to that I say, I hope so. I hope nothing happens. But that doesn't change the fact that we have to keep our eyes on the situation. All right, it doesn't change the fact that these things are going on. You know, we have to keep our eyes peeled, especially with India and Pakistan, because they're two nuclear forces. Um, those are the main three things I wanted to talk about today. Seemed like kind of a slow day for news, except for Venezuela. But we don't know what's going on with that. And I've started to do more polls. And whenever I talk about military action occurring, things seem pretty 50-50. India and Pakistan, people believe that a war seems to be brewing at this point. But it was split between yes and people waiting for the elections to be over. Because, like I said, and that the Venezuela situation, military intervention there, Russia's not going to do anything. They don't have the logistics to fight a war over here, not currently. But I do believe that there'd be a tit for tat notion, and that we would see some kind of incursion into the Ukraine. I'm kind of bouncing all over the damn place here. But yeah, these are the three things I wanted to talk about. As more information comes out, I'll let you guys know. We'll talk about, we'll discuss it, all right? Have a beer, say a few prayers, and as always, keep your eyes to the skies. God bless.